Okay, first things first, I want to apologize for how delayed this video was. We've had some painters at my house painting the place and some construction going on, so I wasn't really able to record. In fact, my room was being painted, so I couldn't do anything. Either way, hopefully I get this video out soon. Alright, before we begin this next part, I just want to let you all know that currently I have a community poll going on where people can vote for the next What If series. The options are what if Kamen Rider Forze was an MHA, what if either Geats or Tycoon was... No, what if Deku was either Geats or Tycoon, and what if Wizard was an MHA. How I'll handle the Geats related ones is that there'll be reincarnations, which fits Geats very well. As for Forze, I'm gonna be having him attend UA because the school team works really well, and I'm surprised no one has done that yet. And as for Wizard, he's just gonna be a vigilante and do wizard stuff. Probably gonna try and add some tokusatsu comedy. Granted, I haven't seen Forze or Wizard, so before I do make that video, I'm gonna have to watch them. And someone also asked me, hey, could you do Gotcha? Kamen Rider Gotcha, if Deku was Kamen Rider Gotcha. And I'm gonna have to watch that as well, so yeah. Either way, this is part 4 of What If Deku was Kamen Rider Buffa. Now with this one, I'm only going to be covering 3 things. It's not going to be much. In fact, I think I'm going to make this one quite short. Below 40 minutes, that's my goal. And I'm going to try and do these videos in a different way. I'm still new to all of this. So, yeah. Either way, let's begin. So, we cut to the police station where Nezu and Teachabit... You know what, I'm gonna look up his name real quick. So, it turns out his name is Numasa and the police chief is Kenji. Also, I saw his current artwork. What happened to Numasa? Anyways, we cut to the police chief's office where both Tsubasa, Kenji, and Nezu are meeting up to discuss the recent actions that have occurred. Thank you for making time for me, gentlemen. I just wanted to have a recount of the reports. Well, Nezu, not much to be stated. Tenya Ida will manage, but he won't be able to walk for a bit. And unfortunately, Native was killed. We don't know how long the hero killer and this Kamen Rider there have been aligned for. But what we do know is they seem to have quite similar ideals. Indeed. And I also heard from accounts from Endeavor that he has recently gained a new armor that lets him shoot water. Yeah, but here's the thing though. It looks different. Remember when Kamui Woods had an encounter with the Kamen Rider? Ah, yes. Both those 2 armors, the one with the drill and water, are the same. But the apparent zombie buckle, as I like to call it, is different. The smaller ones all have the same armor but a different weapon, but the bigger ones give you a different armor as well. It's quite curious what his quirk is. Well, we don't really know, but I sure hope it's not the revolving thing. It's just... I've seen a lot of messed up stuff in my life, but that's just the strangest. Yes, but what if... What if what? What if this Kamen Rider is quirkless? The room is silent. Both Kenji and Namasa are kind of shocked by this. There's no way!
He does not have a quirk with that revolve thing he does.
Yeah, unless we can get him here and question him, we don't really know if he is quirkless or not. Oh, believe me, gentlemen, I do like to believe he is. Because notice one thing, he's bent. That seems to be where he gets all his powers from.
So what you're saying is, it's a support item.
No, it's not like a support item. It's something that shouldn't exist in this world. Whatever it is, it gives him the power to fight. And wherever he's getting these buckles, it requires him to perform acts of vigilante, I assume. That is a good point, but what should we do now? Well, for now, we need to understand why he wants to get rid of all the heroes. If we can find that out, we can possibly find out his identity.
Well, it wasn't until around a few months ago he started to show up.
What time exactly?
Well, let me pull it up for you.
Well, I'll cross-reference this with any other incident. I will inform you both if anything happens, as I sure hope you will do the same.
We will, and I hope Tenuida gets a quick recovery.
Yes, and if we do encounter the Kamen Rider, I would like to thank him for not killing my student. Despite the fact he wants to get rid of all heroes, he seems to still have some sort of moral compass, although quite twisted. And the meeting ends, and Nezu just plops off the booster seat and then makes his way out, with Eraserhead waiting outside, hearing the whole thing.
So, you really think he is quirkless?
Yes, but that's not surprising. A lot of pro heroes tend to fight like they don't have quirks at all, much like you, Eraserhead.
Yeah, he is tough, I'll give him that.
Now we cut to the next day. Michi's checking out the motel out because he's finished all the work here, and he's heading back home. He made a last call with Stain, checking where he'll be heading, but Stain went to a different city, so Michi decided just to head back to his home city. He gets back to his apartment, noticing everything's fine, and then he looks over the points he's gathered. He notices he hadn't really got a lot from the entire Hosu incident, but he's getting there. But now he's wondering to himself, what should he do with this time? He decides maybe just relax. Maybe buy some meat and grill it. Yeah, that does sound nice. Anyways, we cut to the UA classroom. Everyone's checking in on Ida, seeing how he's doing. Uraka's scolding him. And Suyu raises an interesting point.
You're very lucky he decided to spare you, Ribbit. I'm just more curious about how his quirk works.
Ah, yes, I am very confused about it myself. Is it armor, or is it to spin around? I am not sure.
Ooh. What if the belt just gives him the stuff? Eh?
Could you care to explain, Kaminari? Okay, what if he's got his powers from a belt? Like, all he has to do is just put the things in, and then boom, he has powers. He has something similar to quirks.
That is a possibility.
As if something like that exists.
The group turns to see Bakugo in his chair, just being very angry.
Anything is possible in this world. Well, minus the spinning thing. Shut up, you extras.
This caused Ida to get angry and begin lecturing Bakugo about madness and stuff. But that wasn't what was on Bakugo's mind right now. He was thinking well, Deku. Like, he was just wondering where the hell that damn nerd was. Did he get himself killed? Did he give up? He then smirked, like he did such a bastard-like smirk. You know the ones. He thinks, well, now that nerd won't be getting in my way to becoming the strongest and richest #1 hero.
Anyways, let's just forget about Bakugo for now and cut back to Michi, who is currently running in his rider armor.
He just got a message from Stain about how he's dealing with the #8 hero Wash, and something about a crocodile. Buffa didn't really get that last part because Stain briefly was abruptly cut, so he's making his way to the location. It's a warehouse near the docks. And he hears some commotion and also sees some soapy water. So he's like, okay, looks like I found the place. And before he enters, he swaps from his zombie buckle to the magnum buckle he bought. Because one thing he noticed was that he doesn't really have good range. And he knows he likes to get up close and personal, but it'd probably be best to invest in magnum for when he needs to use it. So right now, Wash is currently doing his best to hold Stain off. And while he thinks he has the upper hand, he suddenly gets shot behind from the back. What? Both he and Stain look up to see Buffa with the Magnum armor.
So, you got a new toy. Wait. Watch out for the crocodile!
And Buffa goes, what crocodile? And he gets knocked out of the warehouse by the crocodile hero. Leather Croc. Who's this big hulking crocodile mutation fella? And he quickly turns to Wash and goes, I shall deal with this unexpected guest. If Stain's too much, call for me. Wash quickly nods and continues their fight with Stain, while Leather Croc, I gotta think of a better name. Hold on. Crocs, 'cause he's wearing Crocs. Yeah, screw that. Red Crocodile. We'll just go for Red Crocodile for now. Anyways, Red Crocodile quickly chases after Buffa, who landed in the water. And he's just getting out when he notices Red Crocodile charging at him. This is where your reign ends, you vigilante. Hey. And despite being a crocodile, he is quite fast. Now, Buffa tries to shoot at him, but his skin is quite thick. So he quickly dodges, and Red Crocodile does fall into the water, but that's just his element. He quickly gets out of it, and he makes he comments about how his armor looks different from what they were told. And Buffa goes, guess you didn't pay attention to whatever they told you. And so he quickly takes out his zombie buckle and inserts it to the left side, gaining access to poison to the graveyard thing. Oh, this is quite interesting.
So Red Crocodile quickly charges at Buffa, but he gets stopped by the graveyard thing. While Buffa tries to shoot his eyes, but he isn't good at aiming, so he decides to just quickly stall. And he notices what looks like slash marks on Red Crocodile, but not the kind that are fatal. He realizes Stain was trying to cut him, but due to his crocodile-like skin, he hadn't had much luck. So, while Red Crocodile is stunned, he decides to check up on Stain real quick. But it turned out that Red Crocodile was able to break out of the paralysis and swung his tail hit in Buffa's chest and causing him to fall into the water again. And Buffa realizes that Red Crocodile is really insistent about him being in the water. And he hadn't even heard of Red Crocodile. So he assumes that the water is now dangerous for him because of the giant crocodile. So he tries his best to get out, but Red Crocodile's like, "You're not going anywhere, you villainous vigilante!" And quickly chokeslams him back into the water. Now, Stain is doing his best against Wash, but due to all the slippery, soapy water, it is kind of causing them some problems. And also the fact that Wash is wearing a washing machine. And but he does get a quick glance of seeing Red Crocodile tossing Buffa back into the ocean, and then throwing a choke slam at him. And he goes, "Best of luck, kid." Now, Buffa is now underwater. And before he can regain his consciousness, he can get his footing. He quickly gets jabbed by a claw, and then another, and another, and another. So, just a quick heads up: Red Crocodile's quirk gives him the powers. Basically, does make him a crocodile, while also giving him enhanced abilities in the water. The problem is he needs to drink more water than usual. Well, because he tends to get thirsty very fast. And this is the perfect segue into me drinking some water. And Red Crocodile is launching so many attacks at Buffa that he isn't really handling very well. So he decides to revolve on, and Red Crocodile didn't really notice because the water was quite murky. I don't know how well fish can see in murky water. But just when he's about to go for another hit, he sees that Buffa's armor changed and he had a chainsaw. So before he can try and dodge, Buffa does him with his chainsaw sword, but it doesn't really do much due to the water slowing him down. And Red Crocodile retaliates by swinging his tail and throwing Buffa out of the water. Now, Red Crocodile assumes that this was part of Buffa's plan, but more than not, that was just an accident. However, he's now on the surface. Oh my god. That was the toughest thing I had to do. And before he can go and check up on Stain and try to help him with Wash, why wasn't he called Power Wash? Red Crocodile appears again and goes, "You are not going anywhere. I shall give you a chance to surrender." Buffa goes, "In your dreams." And then activates Poison Charge and tries to attack Red Crocodile. But Red Crocodile dodges and then launches a kick at him, causing him to end up closer to where Stain and Wash are fighting. And he shouts to Stain, "Tag up! Swap!" Stain, quickly understanding, now goes to fight Crocodile while Buffa goes to fight Wash. Now, I don't know what Wash sounds like nor do if they speak, but you can clearly tell Wash is kind of concerned because Buffa, well, is quite tricky. So, he quickly charges at Wash, who causes him to slip due to the soapy water. But Buffa is able to sort of drag Wash with him. Like, he kind of uses his chainsaw to hook him. And then he activates Poison Charge and lands a brutal hit on Wash. Meanwhile, Red Crocodile is trying to hit Stain, but Stain's quite fast. But the moment he notices Wash in danger, he goes, "No!" and quickly runs to Wash to protect them. Now, Buffa tries to land another hit, but Red Crocodile goes, "You shall not harm them," and quickly puts Wash down. And then he says this to both the hero killer and Buffa: "You may take my life, but not Wash's." Statement kinda shocked Buffa. He was thinking, so he's sacrificing himself for that? And Stain goes, "Well, no do. Your buddy attacked me first. You are the hero killer. You are wanted. It's only natural that a hero would stop you. And as for you, you've intervened, and you allied yourself with this monstrosity? That's rich coming from someone that nearly drowned me. I have no counter to that." And just before Stain and Buffa continue their fight, they hear what seems to be police sirens. And the two of them look at each other and and quickly leave before Stain says, "You got lucky. But know this, fake. I shall kill all of you." So yeah, we got our first official survived against Buffa. Woo! Both Stain and Buffa are standing on top of a building, and they stay silent for a bit before Buffa asks, "Okay, what on earth are you doing here? I thought you said you'd be in that place."
I was, but my fight ended up bringing me here.
Ah, so that's the case. And before either of them can say anything, they hear what seems to be footsteps. Both Buffa and Stain prepare their weapons, but then they notice a man in a suit who has a cigarette. "Oh, calm yourself, fellas. You're both the hero killer Stain and Kamen Rider Buffa, correct? My employers have taken quite the interest in you two, and they wish to meet up with you guys. Of course, you guys weren't easy to track. In fact, I just got pretty lucky today. So, care to hear me out?" Both Stain and Buffa look at each other. Therefore, Buffa says, "Who's this boss of yours?" "Can't say for now, but you'll know soon enough." "Okay, how do we meet this boss? I assume they wouldn't want something public." "There'll be a portal to pick you guys up at a specific location. If you agree, that is."
Do you mind giving us a moment?
Not at all, gentlemen. Take your time. Stain quickly hushes Buffa to him and goes,
Well, what do you think?
seems kind of odd. This could be a trap.
Yeah, but I've heard about him. He's a villain recruiter.
Well, either way, could be interesting. You thinking of going?
Couldn't hurt, I guess.
Alright, we'll go with you. What time? A few days. At 9 p.m. Sound good? Location? Yeah. Deku Beach. In the caves. Yeah, no, they have caves. Alright, we'll see you at that time. Ganari takes his leave, I believe that's his name, and quickly makes a phone call to Kurogiri, who is currently dealing with the fact that Shigaraki is very angry about staying that, and is about to attack. But the phone call stops. Excuse me, young master, I must take this.
Fine, make it quick.
Ganari, I hope this is important. Ah, I see. Very well then, I shall inform the rest of the League of Villains.
So, what does he want?
He has found both Stain and the Kamen Rider. Everyone's eyes widen. In the room there is Shigaraki, Dabi, Toga, Spinner, Magna the Goat, and Mustard. And also Twice and Compress.
You mean to tell me you guys managed to get the hero killer to agree to come here?
That is correct, Mr. Spinner. I've heard what that Kamen Rider did to you guys last time. I thought he was a hero, but after seeing him in Endeavor, guess he's more of the wants to beat everyone up type of guy. Quite interesting indeed, I must say.
They sound lame.
They're my heroes!
Can I, Stephen?
No.
Yeah.
Either way, they'll be meeting with us soon.
Tell Korean to get rid of him.
Master, need I remind you of the dangers they both possess and the potential they have?
We don't need him.
Shigaraki! You will accept whatever you were given. You have been driving my patience. Now go to your room! But I said go to your room!
Okay.
I apologize you had to see me like this. I've been quite stressed as of late. What a loser. He got told off like he was a spoiled brat. Now, I know it's not in Kurogiri's character to tell Shigaraki off like that, but I decided to do that to sort of show that he who shall not be named is slowly making a comeback. So it's the day that Stain and Buffa are going to meet these employers. And Stain and Buffa meet up.
So, you ready?
Yeah. Hey, be careful.
Oh, I'm going to be. I don't seem to trust this man.
And soon the portal opens, and Buffa recognizes it immediately. Hey. I seen that portal at the USJ attack. It's most likely we're dealing with this League of Villains.
You were there?
Yeah, had a quest there. That's how I got my buckle.
Ah, okay.
As soon as they step in, then they're greeted with the sight of a bar and a colorful cast of characters. This. Everyone's eyes turn to the direction, and there they see both Stain and Buffa. Welcome, young Stain and young Buffa. We're glad that you were able to have the chance to meet up with us.
Yo!
Kurogiri was suddenly interrupted by Shigaraki.
You ruined our plans to kill All Might. You think you could just come in here and act buddy with us?
Part of a mission. So shut your spoiled ass up.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Now Shigaraki lunges at Buffa, and Buffa gets his chainsaw ready. But then Kurogiri does his portal thing and goes, Young Shigaraki, I believe it's not in everyone's best interest to try and destroy the bar.
Whatever.
So, what's this all about?
I too would like to know that.
Yes, I will explain. First off, my sincerest apologies for young Shigaraki's actions. He is quite angry. So, who's the leader? No.
That would be me.
Really? I thought it'd be that burn mark over there. Rude, but fair.
What?
He seems to have a better handle on the situation. You're just a brat. A spoiled kid.
Why?
Oh, if it wasn't for that portal, you would have lost your hands. Remember that. Yeah. Hero Kill Stain! It's an honor to meet you. Stain quickly turns to see Spinner getting up to talk to him. You inspire me to make a better society. I wish to learn underneath you, if that's possible.
Well, you do have the looks matching. Because we talk later, I want to see more about this.
Yes, of course. Alright, before we begin, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Kurogiri. This is Shigaraki.
I'm Toga. Can I stab you? Can I drink your blood?
What's our problem? A quirk, apparently. You can call me Dabi. I saw what you did to Endeavor. Hate that guy. Yeah, heard what he did to his family. One of the reasons I targeted him. Well, more so it was an accidental targeting. Accidental? He was just he was nearby when I was dealing with something.
I'm twice! You're hot! You're ugly!
What? Apparently his quirk does that. I am compressed. Pleasure to meet your acquaintances. Yeah, Magma Mo. Oh, you need a big sis? I'm right here. Mustard gas. Okay, that kid doesn't even look like he's graduated middle school.
Well, what about her?
Okay, she's crazy. You seem sane.
Yeah. Hang on, how old are you exactly, Buffa?
Not important.
I think that's very important.
Not now. Anyways, so what's your goal?
Simple. The complete collapse of the Heroes Society. Well, this was a waste. What? You have no goals. You're ambitious but lack skills. I can't believe I wasted my time. Oh, really? What's your goal then?
To get rid of the fakes. To gain the power. To defeat anyone who stands in my way. That comment kind of caught the interest of a few of the members of the League of Villains.
Wait, you're not killing heroes because of justice or something?
No. They're standing my way. But let's just say there's someone I personally want to see dead. Look, this has been a big waste of everyone's time, so we're leaving.
You think you could just leave and walk away?
Yes, I can. Because unlike you, I have skills. You're just nothing but a baby. Do you mind letting us leave? Yes, of course. I do hope we don't end up getting in each other's way, of course. Depends. Kurogiri makes a portal for them both to leave, and both Buffa and Stain go their separate ways. And back at the League of Villains, they begin discussing the mugs of stuff. Hat was the hero killer, Stain. The fact that he called our goals foolish makes me ashamed I joined. Yeah, I kinda agree as well. What do the rest of you think? I agree with him! No, I don't!
Yeah, I just want to stab someone.
I personally don't care what they say. Me neither. I myself am just here. It seems like some of you are hesitant, I assume. Don't worry. I'm still staying, but we must change the society.
And we will!
No, you just want to destroy it. Because of what?
Never mind. Kurogiri, any news from our master?
Well, he does have an attack planned. With the goal of capturing the students of UA. Shigaraki smirks behind a weird hand mask.
Good.
Okay. So, now I did say I would try to keep it under 40 minutes, but since I delayed this video long enough, we're going all the way to the camp attack. So a few days before the attack happens, Michi has just finished off taking out some criminals and a hero when he receives a notification that the next game is starting. And he quickly checks the details, because this time it's showing it to him. It says, "Protect Kota." And it quickly shows him an icon of Kota's hat. And it goes, who the hell is Kota? And he decides, doesn't matter. I wonder if there's a secret mission in this one. So he begins taking a few days. He takes those days off just to better prepare himself. So he thinks, okay. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I do know one thing. This most likely is involving either a villain attack or hero. Right now, the buckles I have are Drill, Water, Magnum, and Zombie. I'll be relying on Zombie for the most part. I don't think the others will help me, though. So, yeah. Those will be the buckles he's using. But he does take a quick look through the shop. And he thinks about buying Ninja, but decides not to. So it's the day of the camp attack, and a portal opens for Buffa, and he makes his way through. He then notices he's in the middle of a forest. Okay, now where on earth is this Kota? And then he hears a scream and a smash. And he quickly turns to see what a big, hulking man, the legendary goat himself, Muscular. I don't know why I said it like that, but look at him. He's so simplistic, yet he's perfect. And next he sees Kota. He goes, oh shit, that's Kota. He quickly rushes over, and then uses Poison Charge, and strikes it on the back of Muscular. And he goes, ah! What you? He quickly turns to see that Buffa has already slid underneath him, and is already taking the defensive stance near Kota. Hide somewhere, you brat! And Ko goes, "What? Do you want to die, damn it?" This quickly changes Ko's attitude, and he quickly just gets out of the way.
So you're defending that, brother? Well, I'll just have to pummel you both and smash both of you.
I know what I said. And I did not mean it like that. Get your mind out of the gutter. So this is where Buffa and Muscular fight. And I think Muscular would not do well, because poison is basically paralysis. And if there's one thing I learned recently from Pokemon Rogue, is that paralysis is a pain in the ass. And Buffa, he can't really get true muscular muscles. So no matter how many poison charge he activates, he keeps reinforcing the parts that he hits. He just got lucky with the first one. Coda is still being Coda. And goes, "All you heroes care about is yourself," and stuff like that. And Buffa turns to him and says, "I ain't no damn hero. I'm just here to protect you. Nothing more, nothing less." And then this shocks Coda. He just silences him for a bit. And then, all of a sudden, a box appears, showing secret mission complete. Change his mind. He goes, That's weird. And Muscular charges at him, but then Michi quickly takes out the buckle, and it's Fever. Of all the things to get, why now? And he quickly dodges, and then activates Revolve, so he has Zombie at the bottom. This sort of dumbfounds Muscular, and Coda's like screaming, because what the hell did he just see? Muscular goes, "Wait, what? The head was there, but that was the butt's the hands." He's confused, and this gives him enough time to activate Fever.
6 Fever!
I just needed that music to play real quick. So, he spits it, and what does he get? The propeller. He goes, "Damn it!" And Muscular goes, "Nice trick! Here's mine! I cast Fist!" And Muscular just throws a punch at him. But with propeller, he's able to get out of the way. And he lands a roundhouse kick on him. And so he tries to get something else. But this time he gets war. He goes, "What is this? What's my luck?" And Muscular charges at him. But Buffa shoots water in the same eye that Muscular lost his eye. And he goes, "Ah, gotta use. Why that? Why my left eye? Why is it always my left eye?" And this gives Buffa enough time to activate and get going. "I swear to God, if you don't give me Zombie," he activates it. And the machine listens and goes, "Okay, here's your Zombie." And then he gets Fever Zombie. And goes like, "Whoa." And while Coda has been watching this, he's like, "Oh, he had multiple costume changes." And with Zombie Fever, it's basically Zombie, but he can do two things at once. And while Muscular is in his water-induced pain, Buffa quickly runs behind him and activates a poison charge on the spot where he hit him. And this knocks back Muscular while he's screaming and writhing in pain.
Damn it. If only I killed that brat.
And Buffa asks, "Why?"
Well, yes, Isn't it obvious? That brat's parents were the reason I lost my eye. I thought I killed him for good, but it looks like that brat survived.
This comment angers Buffa to the point where he charges another zombie. He charges and just launches it on Muscular's shoulder, and he begins screaming in pain. Hey, and despite that, he keeps going.
Feels good to inflict pain on others, huh?
And he makes it go deep within before he kicks Muscular to a cliff. And Koda watching this goes, "What? You think you can just attack and kid and get away with it, especially for something like that?" And in that moment, Michi is starting to act more like a hero now that I think about it. Muscular, still under the effects of zombies' poison, goes,
"Why you help him? A valuable villain."
Michi doesn't give him an answer. Instead, he trusts the chainsaw, killing Muscular. And Koda has just seen Marta, but also has seen his parents avenged. And Michi goes, "Hey, good. You okay? You didn't have any guardians where I could take you to?"
Yes, yeah, my aunt.
Okay, get on. And so they make their way to try and find Koda's aunt, the leader of the Pussycats. And in that, while they're looking, he finds out about the whole League of Villains attack. He goes, "They're really obsessed with attacking high school kids." And he goes, "Wait, I'm also technically one. Damn it." And the whole thing plays out the same with Bakugo getting kidnapped. But as soon as the Pussycats begin rounding up everyone, Mandalay notices Koda's missing and goes, "Oh god, we gotta find him." Eraserhead and Black King goes, "Don't worry, we'll find them." But before they do anything, they hear the rushes of bushes, and they see Buffa. And both Vlad King, the Pussycats, and Aizawa get into a fighting stance. But before they do anything, Denki speaks up. "Hold on. Are you this brat's aunt?" And they quickly turn to see Koda, who quickly runs to her. And Mandalay gives him a big embrace, and it's kind of wholesome. But Aizawa and Vlad are still in guard going, "What are you doing here?" But he isn't really paying attention to them. He just looks at his phone, and everyone hears the noise, "Mission complete." And they see him being given another box, and he goes, "Huh. Good. We'll save this for later." Just passing by. And before they could try and apprehend him, he teleports. And as soon as Michi gets back, he notices he already has access to another mission. And this one's strange. It just says "Witness the final battle." And he doesn't really understand, so he just accepts and waits for when it happens. So right now things remain the same, but we get to the climax where All Might has bet all for one. And just when you think he thinks he's gonna be arrested, they hear what seems to be the noise of a portal and the footsteps. And All Might, in his small Might form, quickly looks up to see Buffa. He goes, "Him again. Oi. That the one causing you a lot of problems, huh? Why not just kill him and deal with it?" I would, but save it. I didn't see anything, and you didn't see anything. Got it? All Might is a bit conflicted, but he can't really do anything because he's already over his limits. All for One, however, goes, "What? You think you can beat me?" Screw it, I'm not doing that voice. I'm doing with the "Give me a quack" voice. You think you can beat me? I will have you know I am hundreds of generations quacks feel pumped. Before he could say anything, he gets his head sliced off by a chainsaw combined with poison. Yeah, I'm killing All For One. All For One is an interesting villain, but I wanted Shigaraki to grow, so unfortunately All For One's being killed, but we do know he has strong regeneration. And All For One quickly gets back up, saying, "You think that could beat me?" And he goes, "Didn't think so. That's why I have a bit of insurance." Before he pulls out the charge buckle. That's right. He quickly swaps it out, and he goes, "Hinshin." And All For One witnesses this and goes, "Interesting." And before they say anything, Michi quickly slashes his own arm, and this confuses both of them. And then Michi launches another attack at All For One this time. And he keeps launching a flurry of attacks with All For One using his multitude of quirks to make it troublesome. And he does get his hand on Buffa and tries to take his quirk, but he goes, "What's this? I can't take it. Don't tell me he's... But before he could say anything, charges already filled, and he's able to activate Cannon and Jet, which allows him to do massive damage to All For One. And the other heroes show up, and they see Buffa fighting All For One with new armor. Mirako, being Mirako, wants to fight him, but Endeavor's holding her back, saying, "Hold on." And then he quickly revolves on, getting the classic shock to everyone. Except Mirako, she's like, his head went into his butt. Oh, so Mirako's great. And he quickly grabs All For One, and then just flies up. And All For One's quickly struggling and begins pummeling Buffa. And Buffa goes, "If I kill you, I get a huge amount of points. Just what I need." And then he does a seismic toss and throws All For One into space. And to make sure he stays in space, he quickly swaps to Cannon and launches a heavy blast at him, causing him to be knocked out of Earth's atmosphere. This sort of relieves All Might. And the League of Villains watching this goes, "He said he wouldn't get in our way. He just killed our master." And they're watching from afar. And the UA students goes, "Did he just beat that villain?" And Michi quickly switchbacks to Jet and lands before checking the points he received. And he receives a whopping total of 500,000. He goes, "I figured I would have gotten 1,000,000 at this point." Just as he's about to leave, All Might goes, "Wait! Thank you for ending that nightmare." Buffa, slightly confused, goes, "Don't be thanking me. You'll be seeing me soon enough as an enemy." And just before he leaves, Mirako and a bunch of the other heroes try to attack him, but he's teleported out. Mirako begins throwing the tantrum, goes, "Man, I want to fire him," and all that. And Stain, watching the news, goes, I gotta admit, he acts more like a hero than he likes to admit." And yeah, this is where I'll be leaving this part of the fanfic. Don't worry, we're still continuing. In part 5, we'll be covering the whole Yakuza arc. But also, we'll begin a certain visit from everyone's favorite jelly bean eater, who always says this. Michi. Anyways, sorry that this took me a while to make. It's just with people in my house and I couldn't really record. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy this one. And sorry if it seemed rushed. Still trying to find my ground in this, but with the next one, I'm gonna try and make a style that suits me personally and make it work. This is just experimental, but maybe in the future I'll remake this. Okay, bye.